Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a basic short pattern, and I just used it to make this short, as you can see. So to begin with, we're going to start with the measurements. So I have my hip line here, which is my waist to hip, 8 inches, my crotch depth, which is 10 inches. I'll show you how I got that. Then the full length will be 18 inches. The waist circumference is 34 inches, my hip circumference is 42, and my thigh circumference is 25 inches. So as you can see, I've already drawn up my vertical line here, which will be my starting line, and my waistline here. So I'll just label this line as the waistline. So I'll start to input in my measurements here. So from my waist to hip, it's 8 inches, of which I'm going to mark 8 inches here. Then my crotch depth is 10.5 inches. So let's go to how we got the crotch depth. So my hip circumference is 42 inches. Divide by 4 inches, which gave me 10.5 inch. And this is what I'm going to use as my crotch depth. Then I'll go ahead and put in my full length, which is 18 inches. This is where your short will be ending or reaching. Then I'll just put my measurements this side for my lines to be straight. Then I'll label this my hip line, my crotch line, and my full length here. Then we need a thigh line here, which I'm going to come down by 3 inches from my crotch line. So come down by 3 inches. 3 inches is perfect for me. So this is our thigh line. Then I'm going to start to work with the waistline, hip line, and crotch line first, of which I'm going to get my hip divided by 4, which is 10.5. Then I'll add 0.5 inch. So this is going to give me 11 inches. So I'll get my 11 inch and I'll place it on my hip line. I'll place it on my crotch line and also on the waistline. Then you can go ahead and draw a straight line to join these 3 lines. Alright, then the next thing that we're going to come to will be the crochet extension. So for the crochet extension here, I'm going to use the 11 inch that we have for our hip line divided by 4. Okay, this is my crochet extension and this gave me 2.75. Then I'm just going to add in my 2.75 here. I just rounded it off to 2.8. From here, make a diagonal line of 1.5 inch here so that it helps us make our crotch curve here. Okay, so you can just do it like this if you don't have a curve ruler. So after getting your crotch curve, you come to this line, guys, from here to here. Then get the midpoint of it. I just fold my tape like this and get the midpoint here. Okay, then you can go ahead and put the same measurement here and here. Okay, so like from here to here it was 4 inches, so I just put my 4 here and even here so that I have a guide for a straight line. Okay, so this is our grain line, and now we're going to put in the dart. So my dart is measuring 1 inch, so 0.5, 0.5. Then for the front dart, I had put 4 inches here. I'll change this later. Okay, so draw your dart, or you can actually skip this point. Then you put in your waist measurement. So my waist was 34 inches divided by 4, which gives us 8.5. So I'll put 8.5 plus 0.5 inch for ease, making it 9 inches. So I'll just mark my 9 inch here. Then I'll add my dart intake here, which was 1 inch. Then go ahead and join your waist to your hip line with a curve like this. Alright, so now that we're done, we'll come to the thigh line. So our thigh line was measuring 25 inches. So 25 inches divided by 2, okay, which gave me 12.5 inch. So the 12.5 inch, I'm going to share it on this line. So I'll divide my 12.5 into 2, which will give me 12.5 divided by 2 is 6.25. So I'll mark my 6.5 this side, and I'll mark another 6.5 at this side of the line. Okay. Then we are done with our thigh line. We'll come to the full length here. So here at the full length, I'll just get my 12.5 inch and subtract 1 inch from it. So after subtracting 1 inch from the 12.5, I will divide the answer into 2 and put it this side and this side. Then you can go ahead and curve this. Okay, so curve your lines like this. Okay, so we are going to now put in our hem. So I'm adding 2 inches to the bottom for the folding. Okay, for our hemline here. So 2 inch is what I've used. I'm going to subtract 1.5 for the top, which is the band, which would be the band. That's why I'd said maybe you might skip putting in the dart so that you put it nicely here. So I've added my seam allowance of 0.5 around my front piece. Then I'm just going to come down by 3 inches and put my 0.5 for our new dart. Then I am just going to join it down here since there'll be a band. Okay, so I've used 3 inches because there is going to be a band. Alright, so you can now just cut this out. Then do take note at the bottom part, at the hem, fold in your hem like this, then cut out your piece. This will avoid shortages of fabric when you try to fold your hem. So we can now label this as our front piece. As you can see, this will not be short of fabric when you fold it like this. Okay, so this is our front piece. Now we are going to our back piece. So the first thing I'll do is extend my crotch line, and I'm also going to extend my waistline. Do make sure that I'm making sure I'm using my original lines, not the allowance lines. Okay, so from the crotch line here, where the crotch line ends, which is the original line, not where the allowance starts, but the original line. From here, measure 2 inches like this. Then diagonally here, measure 2 inches also, which I'm going to mark here. Then from this crotch line, I'm going to come down by 0.5 inch. Okay, then this line will have to join here. We'll need to make a crotch curve here. But then first let's work on the upper waist of the back piece. So get the midpoint of this line and go up by 2 inches. If you are bigger, you can go to 0.5. If you are not that large at the back, you can go up by 1.5 inch. So I'll just draw a line here. Then the next thing that I'm going to do now is I want to curve this line down up to here. Okay, so I will use my hip curve to curve my line up to here. You can also do it with your free hands, guys, if you do not have a hip curve. Okay, then here I'm just going to use my free hand to curve the crotch extension side here, and it just came out perfectly, as you can see. Then I'll go ahead and just curve this side to meet the hem here. Okay, then we can now go to the waistline of the back. So I'll get the original waistline, guys, the original waistline without adding the allowance. Then I'm going to just slant it down up to the extension. Sorry, this was not captured. Up to the extension that we had put. Okay, so you see it better here. So after that, do join your waist to the crotch like this. Okay, then I'll just trace in this other part. And also at the bottom, I'm just gonna trace this out to have our back piece like this. So from here, we want to put our grain line. So you're just going to measure the same line that you had here. So mine was 4 inches. I'll just label it. I'll just put it here, mark it here. And you can also mark it here, so that you make sure that your line is not straight. It should be diagonal to the crotch line. Okay, it won't be straight. So come down by 4 inches here. Then I'll put in my dart. Okay, so in the front, at the front part, I went down by 3 inches for the dart. At the back, I'm using 4 inches because of the band. So I'm just going to label this our back piece. And you can go ahead and put in your seam allowance of 0.5 to the back piece like this. And after that, I went ahead to cut my back piece, and this is how my pieces came out. So thank you for watching this far, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.